So the simulation that I'm about to show you goes along with our article of the week. It's a 3D simulation that's showing why social distancing is so important. So I'm going to run through this. All of the information on this that you'll see in the simulation is on your article of the week. Public health experts and elected officials have emphasized again and again that social distancing is the best tool we have to slow the coronavirus outbreak. The CDC and Center for Disease Control and Prevention encourages people to stay home. If you must venture out, you should stay at least 6 feet away from others. The World Health Organization recommends a minimum of 3 feet of separation. Scientists are learning about the novel coronavirus in real time, and those who study similar respiratory illnesses say that until it is better understood, no guideline is likely to offer perfect safety. Instead, understanding the possible transmission routes for the virus can help us see why keeping our distance is so important. Here's the person's cough. I'm assuming it's a cough. Scientists who study the transmission of respiratory illnesses like influenza say that infections typically happen when a healthy person comes into contact with the respiratory droplets from an infected person's cough, sneeze, or breath. And when I read breath, that really surprised me. I knew cough, I knew sneeze, but just being by someone that's breathing, you can get it. The simulation created using research data from the Kyoto Institute of Technology offers one view of what can happen when someone coughs indoors. A cough produces respiratory droplets of varying sizes. Larger droplets fall to the floor. That's good news. Or break up into smaller droplets. Not good news. So now we see it moving over to the second guy over there who's quite a ways away. The heaviest coughs release about a 1/4 teaspoon of fluid, with droplets dispersing quickly throughout the room. The simulation shows they're spread over a minute, 60 seconds, inside a room of about 600 square feet. So it's not a very big room. Under other conditions, the particles could behave differently. So I guess I'm thinking, like, what if it was windy? Or a fan was on, would that carry it? Would it go through an air conditioning or heating system? I have a lot of questions. So you can see the distance that these people are from each other now. The CDC says keeping at least 6 feet away from others can help you avoid contact with these respiratory droplets and lower the risk of infection. That guidance is based on the assumption that transmission mainly occurs through large droplets that fall in close proximity. So now we see, I can't believe like one cough or sneeze would create all that. But as the simulation suggests and as scientists have argued, droplets can travel further than 6 feet. And small droplets, known as aerosols, can remain suspended or travel through the air before they eventually settle on surfaces. This is how they could disperse over the next 20 minutes. So now I'm thinking like going to the grocery store and someone coughs. I mean, they could have coughed before I even was near them or in the aisle, and their droplets are still around, I guess, maybe even on the packages that I'm touching. So this is after 20 minutes, still there. It's not like, oh, it's 6 feet, they've all fallen and there's nothing, said Donald K. Milton, an infectious aerosol scientist at the University of Maryland School of Public Health. It's more like it's a continuum, so it continues on. It's still happening. It's not just sneeze, cough, done. It's still happening. So crazy to think about this. In fact, researchers at MIT studying coughs and sneezes observed particles from a cough traveling as far as 16 feet and those from a sneeze traveling as far as 26 feet. Now we're talking about if I'm at the grocery store, someone's multiple aisles away from me and their droplets could infect me, which makes sense because if you've watched the news or anything, you've seen that if these people are together in one place, even if they're socially distancing, they're still getting the disease. It's so infectious. All of this suggests that keeping a distance of 6 feet or more can greatly reduce the possibility of transmission compared with being closer. The farther you get away, the more diluted it is, Milton said of the aerosol. So that's interesting that the farther away, the more diluted. It's not as concentrated. Coughing and sneezing may not be the only causes for concern. Great. Studies of influenza have shown that infected people with mild or no symptoms may also generate infectious droplets through speaking and breathing. Now that's terrifying. We're going out, again, I'll just use the grocery store as my example, and there's someone that's not coughing, they're not sneezing, they show no symptoms, but they can still infect others, which again, we've seen happen throughout the process of this pandemic. An infected person talking for 5 minutes in a poorly ventilated space can produce as many viral droplets as one infectious cough. So if you're standing there talking to them, you can still get it. If there are 10 people in there, it's going to build up. In recent days, public health officials have suggested that in addition to social distancing, more people should wear face masks to help slow the spread of the virus. I have a face mask now. I do wear it out in public. Not gonna lie, I feel a little odd. I mean, it's not normal for us, but it's incredibly important. A mask disrupts the trajectory of a cough, sneeze, or breath and captures some respiratory droplets before they can spew out. A mask can also prevent large infectious droplets from landing on the nose and mouth, even though it provides minimal protection against inhaling the smaller droplets. So it's not only going to protect you, so if someone around you coughs, it protects you, but it's also you protecting others if you happen to cough or sneeze. And remember, we could be asymptomatic, meaning we have no symptoms, but we have the virus. We could be walking around right now feeling great and have it. So there you go, why you should social distance and wear a mask. Wearing a mask can help protect yourself and others. So if you do need to leave home, wear a mask and be sure to keep your distance.